Y'all ready to make some monsters? Welcome back to my channel. No, we're about to get spooky. Y'all, I have no time. Spooky season is almost over. I can't mess around. Anyways, today's video, we are doing 2 of my favorite spooky movie monsters. Probably sounds familiar to last year's video, but that was horror movies. These are spooky movies. They're not like really scary, but like you get the gist. And can you tell from my outfit who's gonna be first? I'm the juiciest beetle. The most well-fed beetle you've ever seen. Anyways, meet me at the desk. Let's go ahead and make some spooky movie monsters. Come on. So just a quick refresher, these are all my casts that I did last year when I did my sculpture project. Now this first one is going to be Beetlejuice. So I'm turning this little sculpture into Beetlejuice. Now if you need a refresher, I'll go ahead and link the old videos on the top so you can see the whole entire process. There's a lot of videos and a lot of sculptures, but today we are doing Beetlejuice, one of my favorite movies and also one of my favorite spooky movie monsters. So for Mr. Beetlejuice, I ended up choosing this kind of gray looking sculpture. Once again, you guys have to watch the full process to know why these are all colored a funny way, but I knew I was going to go with a dark base. So I chose the darkest plaster cast that I made because it just makes sense. So this is me just covering up the base a little bit and then going over that with some white. That's why I would like to go with a darker base, because once you put on that white, you still have subtle highlights of that purple. And of course, the iconic purple eyes that he has in the movie. And you already know I gotta add a little bit of pink everywhere. And I mean everywhere. The booty. And of course, his iconic green hair and like the moss that is coming out of his body. And adding that green moss really sold that effect that this is Beetlejuice. So right now I'm just adding some brightness to his eyes to really make them pop, as well as these little pants, these little swirl pants inspired by Tim Burton. You know, he does those black and white little swirlies. They're like my little pants because my sculptures don't really have bodies. I also added some gloss to the nose and to the lips, you know, to really make them perky. And I repeat, do not sleep on some UV resin. Adding that gloss to the eyeballs, it really makes this project come alive. And the first one is done. And as always, the final reveal is going to be at the end of both monsters. But let me tell you, this last one is worth the wait, because this happens to be my favorite monster and movie and spooky movie and 80s movie and all of the above. This next monster is Maurice from Little Monsters. Meet me at the desk. Let's go ahead and get it done. I feel like so many people sleep on this movie still. Little Monsters starring Howie Mandel and Fred Savage is very 80s, very camp. Oh, it's amazing. And if you watch some of my other spooky videos, you know I've mentioned this movie before. It's a must. It is a must. But anyways, onto the sculpture. Once I sanded it down, this is my reference, Maurice, of course. I took some polymer clay and made some horns. Actually, these are like the stumps for the horns. I actually made the horns separate, but I'll show y'all soon. So once I made the stump and I liked it, I baked it just so it's hard onto the plaster. But before that, I was sculpting, kind of making it look really organic to the sculpture. Plaster and polymer clay, I realized does not really coexist, but I try my best. But before I baked the base, I wanted to make these little freckle type mold things that Maurice has. So I just rolled up some small balls of polymer clay and kind of stamped them onto the plaster. I could have painted them on, but I wanted to go all out on this sculpture. But now it's time for the horns, so I did a very rough shape of what the horns would look like because I knew I was going to bake them and then carve into them because I thought that was going to be a little easier, and it was. And now that everything is baked to perfection, I went in with the dark base. I made sure to do light coats with this multiple times to really build up the blue. Because in my mind, when you're painting with acrylic, less is more in the beginning, and it also lets you build up those layers to make them kind of look translucent. You know what I mean? And once I had that base blue down, I went in with the lighter blue, almost teal, to add some highlight to some areas because it was looking a little too dark. Once again, less is more with acrylic paint. I just did a light dusting. Look at the booty. Then I took some purple and then kind of darkened it with some darker blue. I did a light dusting on the lips, the nose, the under eye, the cheeks. And I think you know what cheeks I'm talking about. Anyways, I added some under eye baggage and this is what it looked like. I also darkened up a lot of the moles because, you know, Maurice has a lot of moles that are dark and that's why I darkened them up. And listen, I almost forgot to add some eyeliner. I forgot Maurice had eyeliner in the whole movie. He had like that really dark eye, but it made his pupils look so bright. I also did like a purplish blue hair because that's what he has in the movie and kind of wiped out the excess to add some highlight. And now it's time for the horns. I went in with like a darker wash. Then I wiped off the excess and just kind of dry brushed some highlight on top. You see how that just made it pop just a little bit more? I did end up going with the brighter color because it wasn't popping as much. I then took some super glue and pretty much just popped it right on. Now it's time for the finishing touches. Some gloss on the booty, the ears, the nose. Not the ears, the horns I meant. And of course, the eyeballs. I did not record the eyeballs, unfortunately, but you will see it in the big reveal. We're done. Check out my babies, they're done. I actually made these last year, but I felt like everybody was kind of getting sick of my sculptures, so I didn't want to post all of them. This has taken a year to finally post, but here's the last monsters. We got Beetlejuice and Maurice. They're in love. Not little chunky babies. Anyways, it's pretty late and I know everybody in my apartment complex can hear me at the moment, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this video saying thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, concerns, please let me know down below. If you have any suggestions on what I should do next, also let me know down below. And I hope everybody out there has been spooky and creative this October. Please let me know which one is your favorite. Which one of these little babies is your favorite? Do you like Beetlejuice or do you like Maurice? Let me know down below. Okay, bye. Bye. My feet are sticky.